The top 7 most haunted places in California. The Glen Tavern Inn in Santa Paula. The Glen Tavern Inn in Santa Paula was built in 1911 in the Old English Tudor style. It is a beautiful building, but it could be described as having a somewhat ugly past. The history of the Glen Tavern Inn is rich and colorful, with a large dose of dark and seedy moments. It is a fascinating building once frequented by the stars, which fell on hard times after Prohibition was introduced and the third floor became a speakeasy, brothel, and gambling den. It is this that is likely to have triggered the majority of the paranormal activity reported here. The Glen Tavern Inn is one of the most haunted places in California, and it is home to a number of different ghosts. One of the most well-known hotspots is Room 307, which is said to be haunted by 2 ghosts, a cowboy known as Calvin and a prostitute. Calvin is described as being tall and thin, wearing a white shirt and sporting long hair and a goatee beard. He has been seen walking through walls and is often captured in photographs taken by guests. Las Casas Adobe, Soledad. Las Casas Adobe might just be one of the terrifying places in California. In the early days, Las Casas Adobe was the site of a mine. However, one day a horrific accident caused over 30 mine workers to be trapped in a collapse. All of them lost their lives. A tragedy like that has to leave a stain on the very land, so it is really no wonder this place is haunted. Locals and visitors alike have heard the screams of trapped miners emanating from an old well on the property, and there are also numerous reports of a lady in black and a male phantom walking around the grounds. Some even claim to have seen the ghost of a man hanging from a tree just on the boundary of the property. East 8 Mile Road, Stockton. One of the most haunted places in California is not a building, but a stretch of road, 8 Mile Road to be exact. It is said that there is the spirit of a witch who appears on the road. Many a heavy goods vehicle driver has reported a scary woman in a tattered white dress standing in the middle of the carriageway. Legend states that if you turn back to take a second look at the phantom, then you will see the spirit sitting in your back seat. There are also reports of a Native American girl wandering the road on the night of the full moon, and locals say she can be heard screaming in the night. It's no wonder paranormal fans loved the idea of a haunted road trip along East 8 Mile Road. Queen Mary Hotel, Long Beach. The Queen Mary Hotel is recognized as not only one of the most haunted places in California but also as one of the most haunted hotels in the entire world. The former ocean liner is now permanently docked at Long Beach, where it served as a hotel that is very popular with paranormal researchers and others interested in the paranormal. The ship is incredibly haunted, and we could not even begin to document all of the strange events that have occurred there in this one brief summary. However, we can touch on some of the most common hauntings. The first-class swimming pool is said to be haunted by 2 female spirits who are said to have drowned there in the 1930s and 1960s respectively. They have both been seen as apparitions, and visiting psychics have said that they feel a negative presence coming from the changing rooms. There are also reports of a lady in white in the Queen's Salon, a male in 1930s attired in the first-class suites, and the sounds of children playing near the storage room. These are the only handful of the reports of paranormal disturbances on board. 5. The Pierponte in Ventura. The Pierponte in Ventura, California has been catering to its guests since 1910, and has a few secrets to divulge. Some of those guests may still be there. This gorgeous property right on a Pacific Ocean bluff will host your party, wedding or next meeting, as its breathtaking views will leave you speechless. Nobody knows for sure who haunts the inn, only that there are still spirits who wander the halls and rooms. Don't be surprised by the scent of roses when you venture into the bar, or find your locked door unlocked for no reason at all. Alcatraz, San Francisco. There are few structures in this world that are as infamous as Alcatraz. Prisons are often a haven for restless spirits, and Alcatraz is no different. In fact, this former high-security prison is probably even more likely to be haunted given what the conditions were like when it was in operation, coupled with the dangerous criminals who were housed within its walls. The entire building is soaked in fear, regret, anger, pain, and death. The perfect recipe for restless souls and much darker entities. The prison is like a breeding ground for the paranormal. One of the most feared presences on the island is known simply as the Thing. This entity is said to have red glowing eyes, and it has been seen not only by visitors today but by prisoners and staff when Alcatraz was in operation. Other common reports detail disembodied voices, sobbing, screams, banging of cell doors and putrid smells which some say indicate a demonic presence. Visitors have experienced being touched, feeling cold spots, and even having emotional outbursts of either sadness or anger. Some have even said that they encounter apparitions who spoke to them of abuse at the hands of guards and other inmates. 7. Winchester Mystery House, San Jose. The Winchester Mystery House is one property that certainly lives up to its name. Construction began in 1884 and it never really stopped until the owner, Sarah Winchester, passed away on September 5, 1922. It is believed that she spent around $5 million on construction. Why? Well, because Sarah was convinced that her home was haunted by all of the victims killed by a Winchester rifle, and that the only way to quiet the spirits was to keep on building. Sarah may well have been correct, because since the mansion was opened up to the public in 1923, staff and visitors alike have reported several mischievous spirits in the building. The Winchester Mystery House is open to the public if you are interested in visiting.